just watch what's transitioned. You meet a legend, you see a legend. When we was raised to meet a legend, to shake a hand of a legend, to have a conversation with a legend will change my life. Now, you walk into the same weight room and they don't ask for the handshake. They don't look at you in the eye. And the first thing they say is, let me take a picture. Can you imagine what everything you're talking about, how it's now so disconnected to the actual handshake, the representation of a man, right? How will you be defined? And now it's like, do it for the gram. It's like, so a picture, and I asked this kid in the weight room the other day, I'm on vacation, and I'm like, if I'm in the weight room on vacation, I'm in here to work. I ain't got time to be stopping for 5 minutes to take all these pictures, right? So he says to me, well, can I take pictures? I said, you're supposed to be working in here. And what's interesting is the next thing I said, Rob, to your point, I said, if I was you, I would just ask me for a conversation. Mm-hmm. Like, really sit down and just download whatever so I asked him all these quick questions, man. And when we got done, he was like, you know what? I've never seen it like that. I was like, yeah, because the world tells you to snap pictures. Man, legends sacrifice things.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been like, yo, man, let me just work out with you.
Let
me work out with you. I like that, in Bridesmaid where the girls were sitting behind the tree trying to copy them. I'll be like, I'm doing everything you do because you know the path to success. I'm gonna do what you doing.
Right. Nah, bro, but I'm telling you, man, like it's so many little things when you talk about. So I have my show a little later, and today's theme is anything is possible. Anything is possible. So when you see it in sports is a confirmation of what happens when you put hard work in, right? That's why the flick of your wrist, right? You know exactly what it feel like. When it come off your wrist, you know if it's buckets. Everybody else still in suspense. But you know when you release that, you know why it's going down. And it's the same thing with me. When I got the perfect lineup, bro, for a tackle or knockout shot, I'm like, somebody mama is not gonna like me. But
it's speaking on that legends thing, like one of my biggest pet peeves is every time I see Bill, Kareem, I go over and just say, just one, I don't even want to show you, I just, do this, thank you for what you do and what you've done for me. I've seen so many guys, these young guys, see these legends and look at them and keep going, man.
And keep moving.
To me, that's just so disrespectful, man. I don't care if you make 8 times more than this guy. He laid the pathway for you to get to where you are. And I remember I was at the All-Star game, and Joakim Noah saw me, and I'm not the upper echelon players, but when he came over and Rob, you went to Alabama. I watch you. I'm a big fan. Yada, yada, yada. Thank you. I'm like, damn, and I've, how some people look at certain players and what they do on the court. They say, oh, this guy is a loon. I've always had a respect for him. And so he and I had a conversation. I think the biggest point I had to make as a dude, you don't know how much I am a fan of yours. He looked at me like, what? I said, you remember the time when LeBron was doing all those antics in front of your bench and you got up and wanted to fight him? I said, after you did that, man, I had the most respect for you because you like, yo, don't disrespect us like that. And that's where the game has gone now, where these guys want to throw up antics, make threes. I'm like, dude, you always talk about this generation can play with this generation. You couldn't play with us because you didn't throw up any type of antic. If it wasn't a game-winning shot and you making a three and you doing all this shimmering, all we would say is bring him off a screen.
That's it.
Send him my way. And then we'll just light him up and say, okay, cut that shit out. And that's what Joakim Noah did. He was an old school type of player. I was like, dude, because a lot of people were scared of LeBron, but Joakim got up in his faces, don't do that shit. And LeBron didn't do it again. So, back to what I was saying with, how does that make you feel when you see that this young fella and he sits there and look at you and just walks by without saying, thank you?
Yeah, look, people keep, we keep claiming these things, right? And it's interesting because everything is about titles. But we claim this new title for these young kids, calling them millennials. But I'm going to beg to differ. They are freaking children.
Yes.
Right? It'll never change. anybody that's younger than me, make sure your place is always understood. This is simple math. I'm never going to change, right? So when it comes to that respect, this is what's so funny, Rob, and I'm telling you this, I'm more forward. I don't even wait for them to do it. Because I know they're not programmed to do that. We were programmed to do that. That's the respect of the game. But now I just did it. Forget the names. I just did it to two kids who looked right in my face and saw me, and I was like, "What's up? How you doing? Great to see you. Great career. Hope you last a bit." Right. Because it's like, no, if you won't do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna need to hear something from me that you think you got figured out because you think your bank account really is gonna get you 10 years in the league or 12 years in the league. I can guarantee you it probably won't. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of from your perspective, man. Like, I'm more forward, Rob. Like, I would give you a prime example. If I ride down the street a lot of times, and my family, my girl, they think I'm crazy because I see two brothers doing something they ain't got no business doing, or they pants pull down but behind their butt. Rob, I get out the car.
No, you don't.
Listen. I get out the car, Rob, and pull their pants up. And when they listen, Rob, and then they turn around and see it's me, and I say, "You ain't paid the price to wear your pants like that." Too many. Rob, I do it all the time. And if I'm too far away from you, I'm gonna scream it. "Hey man, you don't want to pull up your pants?" I'm not going to seeing all that.
Oh,
one of the only people on the planet probably that can get away with that too.
Yeah, that's one of my dad's. That's one of my dad's biggest pet peeves, man. To see a kid walking around with his pants down. He said this line every time. "Don't you know that's what they used to do in jail to let them know they was available?" I'm like,
oh man.
Yes. He was like, "I can't believe they pulled their pants down like that." So it's crazy, man.